India's Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, a veteran of counter-insurgency warfare, a man who changed the face of the UN's peacekeeping mission in Congo. General Bipin Rawat has had an illustrious career, one that spanned over 4 decades. Here's a look back at his life.
We have to defend ourselves, defend our people, defend our property.
An alumnus of the National Defence Academy and the Indian Military Academy, General Rawat was commissioned into the Indian Army in December 1978 in the 5th Battalion of the 11 Gorkha Rifles. It was here that he was awarded the Sword of Honour. General Rawat was a veteran of counter-insurgency warfare, serving in some of the most difficult terrains in the country and handling various operational responsibilities along the LOC with Pakistan, the LAC with China, and in the northeast. General Rawat became the Vice Chief of Army Staff before becoming the 4th officer from the Gorkha Brigade. He then went on to become the Chief of Army Staff before being appointed as India's first Chief of Defence Staff. General Rawat has been a part of many international bilateral visits such as Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Russia and the United States. He's also an honorary general in the Nepalese army. But one of his most important contributions internationally came with the United Nations peacekeeping force. When General Rawat took charge of the UN mission in Congo in 2008, things weren't going too well for the world's costliest peacekeeping mission, but he turned around the operation with an iron fist. He ordered the deployment of infantry combat vehicles and ensured peace in flashpoints. General Rawat was later credited for providing dynamic leadership under the UN banner. Over his 37 years in the Indian Army, General Rawat has been awarded a number of gallantry awards, including the Army Commander's Commendation. His latest role as Chief of Defence Staff was unique. General Rawat was the first person to hold this post, a position to make India's entire military power work as one force. While the CDS is the principal military advisor to the Defence Minister on all tri-services matters, he did not exercise command over the 3 service chiefs. His mission was to ensure better synergy between the Indian Army, the Air Force and the Navy. As CDS, General Rawat played a key role in restructuring the Indian forces, cutting the administrative flab and increasing its combat potential.
What we need to be looking at, we cannot fight the next war like we fought the last war.
And earlier this year, in an interview with WION's executive editor Palki Sharma Upadhyay, General Bipin Rawat described his role as India's first Chief of Defence Staff as the principal military advisor to the Defence Minister. Listen in.
Sir, different countries define the role of the Chief of Defence Staff differently. In the United States, for instance, the Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff outranks all commissioned officers. In the United Kingdom, the CDS is responsible for how operations are carried out. You're India's first CDS. How do you describe your role and how do you view your progress more than 1 year into the job?
You have very rightly addressed the issue of how higher defence organizations in different countries should take shape. In our country too, the Chief of the Defence Staff has been created considering our own strategic perspectives. Now you are aware that the tasks that have been entrusted to the Chief of Defence Staff are threefold. Firstly is to bring about jointness. Second is integration amongst the services. And third, of course, is transformation. Therefore, what is clearly laid out for the Chief of Defence Staff is to become the principal military advisor towards our Defence Minister or our Raksha Mantri and provide impartial advice to the political leadership.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.